Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Sam for We Self Live magazine. Well, lately there's been a lot of criticism behind the whole Tupac movie, and we posted a lot of things that we saw in regards to that. Well, today L.T Hutton didn't sit too well with a post we made regarding the comments that John Singleton made during his interview with a local radio station. So LT reached out to us and we notified him that one, we're not biased, and we were definitely open to hearing what he has to say about a lot of things. So we're going to contact him, get him on the phone, and we're going to hear what he has to say.
Hello?
Hello, LT.
Yeah.
How you doing, man? This is Sam with We So Fly magazine.
Yeah, what's going down?
Now, first of all, I want to thank you, honestly, regardless of for you taking time to come out and comment and speak with us on a lot of things. I know today we posted something that didn't fit well with you, and like I informed you on Instagram, we definitely want to hear your side of things and maybe ask you a couple of questions. So once again, on behalf of my company, I want to thank you for taking time out to talk to us.
Right.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate it too, man. First of all, I want to tell you personally, though, regardless of what we post, I like the movie. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing really bad to say about it. But again, being a magazine company and a blog, I have to report a lot of things that I see. Now,
I get it.
now
And that's and the only reason I can't respond to everything, but let's just I hope you're recording this so you can get me exactly right. What I'm saying to you is everyone that watches this film with a clear heart and a clear mind understand what was done here. He never saw the movie. That's the reason why he said we made a movie about a rapper. That's not what we did here. You know what I mean? This film was done in the holy trinity of who Tupac was, who he wanted to be, and who he had to be to survive the worlds that he was in. This film is so much deeper than just a rapper. So for him to even let's just start off with the biggest sickness. For him to make this about him, instead of celebrating the fact that we got something done for the culture, made by a young black man who comes from zero, from nothing, from the worst parts of Chicago, from the slums, to be successful in the music industry, and then take the film world on. He's been in the game for I don't know how long, okay? And he's never attempted to make this picture, or did he have the want to make this picture? He called me and I put him on. That was the worst thing that I ever did in my life, because it's come back to haunt me, because the white people warned me that he was going to be this type of guy. All right,
okay.
And that's and I said no. There's no way he could be like that. Why would he do that? And he's making it so self-serving that I'm spending more time defending his lies and rumors, to the point where now I'm going to put out the script that he wanted to do to show the world these are the reason we had. And I'm actually just in the process of doing highlights right now to the script so people can understand of the shit that he's making up. And it's like, it's ignorant that there's over 70 movies coming out this summer. We got one. So I got to deal with this hater and another hater, you know what I'm saying, and another hater. And it has not been any white people that have done what my own people are doing to just start nonsense. And if you go to the theater and you watch this movie, the reason why everybody's getting so upset, like, this is a great film, not just because I did it. I spent a lot of time. And to keep talking about, John Singleton signed on to the project in 2013, 2014. My deal with Mr. Shakur was done completely in 2011. Okay. He knew exactly what the ramifications and what happened were in the whole deal. So when she said, we're going to move forward, and we're not going to talk about the stuff that happened, because we both know what happened. The fact is, we made a deal, however that deal came about, and we moved forward. You know what I'm saying? So to talk about it now that you're not on the project, you didn't say anything when you got on the project, and that all of that stuff had went on in 2009 or 2008, and we came to terms in 2011. You know what I'm saying? And we just agreed to move forward. So why'd you even sign on the project?
Exactly. Well, in our community, a lot of us black men and women, we hate on each other, and this was definitely a big movie. You was blessed with the opportunity to do it, so I'm pretty sure you knew that at some point in time you would come across this type of criticism and people
The
coming out?
criticism don't bother me. I just don't like the lies.
Okay.
The criticism is okay because at the end of the day, this movie is not for everybody.
Right.
Nowhere, shape, or form did I think that I could satisfy the entire world on what this content is, because 30 minutes of Tupac's life is a movie in itself. There's
Right.
a lot of people that are not in it. They're going to be mad that they're not in it. There's going to be people that say, put the hospital scene in the movie after he dies. He was in the hospital unconscious. Really, you want me to go 10 minutes on him not responding and just sitting there debating whether they're gonna pull the plug? Like, come on, that we couldn't use the real estate like that. People would say, well, Madonna. Okay, well, what do you want me to say about Madonna? He had sex with her and he dated her.
Yeah.
What does that
Exactly.
what does that do for the story? Like, I used the real estate in the movie. Like, I shot those scenes, but it didn't do nothing for the story.
Right.
I had to understand that we had precious time in this film for the person who is not a Tupacologist or a person who is not uh, a Tupac evangelist, that we have to explain and get, because oftentimes we criticize us for the choices we make, but never understand what we had to choose from. So I wanted to give a full, bits of a trajectory of where Tupac came from, and we established that in this film. So when he say
We
we
so
didn't go
fun.
deep, like, you didn't watch the movie, asshole. You know what I'm saying? And why you want to keep on making it about you? That is the reason you wasn't on the project. And like I said, the terrible things that he wanted to do in the script, that wasn't white people. That was me saying you can't do this, bro.
Yeah.
And he was so stubborn. And like I said, he hasn't worked for years.
Right.
And that's the reason, you know what I'm saying? And so for me to get mad at a young producer who's never made a record, but he got fire. For me to say his song is not going to be a hit because that was his first, like, that's idiocy. Who are you to say that nobody else can make movies except for you?
Well,
That's crazy.
let me ask you this: for people that don't know, how hard was it for you to try to put? Of course, you couldn't put his whole life in the time that it was allotted in this movie, but explain how hard and how difficult that process really is.
But here's the thing: we just about did it. If we don't introduce a lot of B characters and side characters that are definitely very important in Tupac's life, but not to the point of the trajectory of the story. We actually got it all in there, and that's what everybody is failing to realize, that are trying to hate. If you look at the film for what it is, it's all there. That's why some of the greatest people that make film are coming out making their statements. Doctors, people with PhDs, and people who speak this. They like, yo, are you guys crazy? Look at what they accomplished. So it's very hard, and it's
Yes.
beyond hard, because the thing is, you got to understand. We all say, I wish I could have done it in a trilogy, a 3-part scenario like The Godfather. But
Right.
let's be clear, they're not giving me that type of money or that type of real estate in the film world. If it was so easy, why didn't John Singleton do this fucking 18 years ago?
Right. Right. I understand.
Why didn't somebody else that has hundreds of millions of dollars, why they didn't make a picture? It's like, you got to understand what Hollywood is. You'll see these
We
people.
so fun.
Look at how many films they actually made in the amount of time that they had to make them. You got people that are great. They make one picture, you don't hear from them for about 15 years. Then they make another picture, and then you don't see them for another 10. Like, it's people that have been in the game that are fucking, all-time greats to me, that only in their body of work only have maybe 8 or 5 pictures in there. Some only had 2 in their lifetime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let,
So you got to celebrate when we do get something, and then it's like to say that, and like, I don't know, man. It's upsetting to me that people get out there and just lie, like to say that, oh well, they were forcing a thing. You can't force Miss Shakur to do anything.
right. Okay. Well, let me ask you this next question. How do you personally feel about Jada Pinkett coming out and making the statements about her story? Because we know in Hollywood, period, sometimes you have to make the story a little more interesting. So everything, or maybe a small part, may not be exactly true. As far as her storyline with Pac goes in that movie, how do you feel about the statements that she made? Or are you aware of them?
Yeah, I'm aware of them. 4 points that she said she never went to a concert. We never said that that's what that came from. She had a conversation with Tupac. In her interview, she said that she didn't like the way Tupac was going in his life. She didn't agree with the East Coast West Coast war. She didn't agree with what the conversation he had at death row, that he was going to death row. So they had an argument about that. That scene is what it is in the movie. Only thing is, we changed the setting because I wasn't gonna have a phone conversation on something that deep, where we needed to see Tupac spiraling out of control, and she was the voice of reasoning right there with a real conversation that both of them had. So, real scenario, different background. Okay. So let's go to the next one.
Right.
Where she often talked about Tupac's mother and their issues, and he confided in her, and she always was that she was good and different things like that. So that's another conversation that she said they had and what they talked about. So we just put it on the different world set because we know for a fact that Tupac was on the different world set because he appeared on the different world set with her. So we just gave them dialogue to have the conversation that she said happened multiple times. We just put that conversation on the set to show her progression in life and to show Tupac's progression and where he was going in life. So real scenario from a real point of reference, just different settings to help propel the story. Now, the big thing that she had a problem with, because this one never happened, but here's the scenario. Tupac said one of the biggest things that hurt him about leaving Baltimore is that he didn't get a chance to say goodbye to his good friend Jada. So, in this film, by it being the Tupac film, we gave Tupac an opportunity to say goodbye to his friend. So, how does Tupac feel about Jada? We want to dispel all the rumors and keep their friendship what Tupac said that it was and what she says that it was over and over again. So how do we do that? We let Tupac explain how he feels about Jada. How did we do that? From a poem that he wrote called To Jada. So it was a tribute and an honorarium scenario where we don't tell the world how he felt about Jada. Let's let Tupac tell the world about Jada and also accomplish showing a different side of him, a poetry side, a poet side that nobody has ever seen before. So it was a beautiful moment, and that's where that derived from. Everything else was derived, all facts, all different scenarios, but just different places. So, like everybody said, how could you say that that's not accurate? She played Ali's first wife in the movie with her husband. You understand what I'm saying? So, in film, embellishment and liberties are taken often. Same thing with John Singleton. This entire script that he has right here that I can send you right now is all made up. It's all liberties. There's nothing really in here that's too factual. It's a over romanticized fantasy about a guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, I didn't want to have to do this because, like I said, it's not about me and him. He's making it about me and him. Yeah, he's making it about something that he shouldn't even be answering these questions. Like, what difference do it make? The movie's out. Let the people enjoy it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why you still running around here bitter? You got Snowfall coming out. Let people watch that. You know what I'm saying? You want to introduce cocaine and how cocaine came to the world. Fine, go ahead and do that. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? And to make me even to the point where I got to say, I hated to comment on your page that's not true. What me and Miss Shakur had, we agreed to not talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it because if I was, she's not here to say her piece. So everybody that's talking, trying to say what she said and what she was going to do, that was in 2011. Do you think she would have stayed quiet, gag order or no gag order, whatever the fuck they trying to say? You think she going to stay quiet that long? You think she couldn't tell me I don't want to do this picture LT and I wouldn't have said, okay.
Exactly. She definitely was a fighter, so I can.
But she wouldn't look at the last checks that was cashed. You talking about $800,000 checks, this type of check, this type of check. They wouldn't cash the checks.
Yeah.
She would have said, no, I don't want the money.
Right.
They cashed the checks, though. You can't cash the checks and then come back and say, we wasn't going to do this, we wasn't going to do that. That's not the truth. How many cousins do you have right now, if you know off the top of your head?
About 20 to 30.
How many of them do you really rock with every day?
Probably about 6 or 7.
Okay, so it's a lot of them that if you passed away will come and say, hey man, that was my guy. It's some that you really don't even fuck with. Right. Because we got people in our family that is what it is. So when people say the family, he got one auntie, one sister. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So people don't even understand what the conversations could have been to say this, that, and I would never diss the man's family. I don't got nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. Like I keep telling people, our deal was with Miss Shakur. How she delegated and how she dealt with them is how she dealt with them. That's not my business. But the last thing I'm going to do is let people keep on crucifying and say, we stole this, we stole that. Even one of the persons came out, well, I got to say, LT them did win the rights fair and square. Okay, if we won them fair and square, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, as a Tupac,
business is business.
Well, as a Tupac fan, I want to say that, I'm glad to know that, his mother was compensated in whatever way. And, as far as, like you said, you made a valid point. When it comes to all these other relatives coming out, me being an African-American man, I know how that can get, So, you did what you did as far as taking care of what you were supposed to take care of on your end. The checks were cash, like you said. And on that note, it's really not too much to really complain about as far as that goes.
And to keep bringing that up to try to cause discontent and a misdirection of people, that's just not cool. Because you knew when you signed your paperwork to work with me, our deal was done in 2011 with me and Mr. Shakur. So I had to brief him on what happened and how it happened. I had to give him the inside scoop, and he know for a fact. What he said was, oh man, fuck that. People are trying to do that all the time and this and that. We already know what it is. Like, he knows it. I didn't do nothing wrong. She knows that. There was some bad people in the business that messed it up, and we agreed to move on. That's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is like, she know what happened, I know what happened, and we moved on from it. So to bring it up the week of the film being released, that's malicious.
Right.
You run around town talking about this. You're trying to keep the numbers down, bro, because like I said, he hasn't had an opening weekend bigger than the opening weekend we had in none of his films. Let's just be clear. So when you want to talk about that, that's a fact. He hasn't had an opening weekend bigger than the weekend. You can't count Fast 2 because that's a franchise. That's not his. Right. But go to Hustle and Flow, baby. Well, all of them, none of them has had an opening weekend like we had. What I'm saying to you is this. To try to take me out when I'm trying to obtain power, there are no black distributors.
Right.
All right? There's the number of black executives in Hollywood, there's 96% white executives. 96%. So to come at me and try to take me out when I got in here and now they telling me they're going to close the door after me, where I'm giving opportunities to us as a people. You got to understand the blasphemy that causes, because he's not going to put new people into the system. He always go for stars, which he recycles the pond. He never puts fresh blood. So you go to his first movie. Lawrence Fishburne was already Lawrence Fishburne. Cuba Gooding Jr. was already on the way up. Right. Ice Cube was a superstar. Right. You know what I mean? He can't say he made none of those people.
Right.
He went and got Angela Bassett and all of those people, and they motherfucking carried him. Let's be clear. He didn't go just get somebody from scratch. I gave you damn near 90% all fresh new talent on there. I went and got a black director where I could have easily just went on to a white director after all of the shit that I've been through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I see where you're coming from. LT, I don't know how much time I got, but I definitely want to get through a couple of more questions, bro, because I know you're a busy man. Other celebrities, which I'm pretty sure you're aware of, like 50 Cent, for some reason, he came out and he talked about the quality of the filming and how it was low budget cameras and etc. Like, was it because
lies?
What is lies?
All lies. See, the thing is how you know when people make those comments, they're just trying to defame it. When they say, "Oh, it's like Aaliyah," come on, man. Aaliyah was shot on some crap. Okay, this film was done by Peter Menzies. Okay, if you look at the Academy Award nominated DP, director of photography, he shot Clash of the Titans. He shot A Time to Kill. A Time to Kill is really what I have him on this, because the way he shoots drama, you know, it was on a Lexus, you know what I'm saying, which is the #1 cameras in America. All right, crazy cameras called the Lexus, and it's shot in anamorphic. We don't even get pictures like this to be shot in anamorphic. You know what I mean? It's such a high quality, and that's why and I hate to even say it like this, when the white people, they ignore stupid stuff like that. It's just some of our people that are not educated on cameras and different scenarios. This is not no Reds and all the stuff that some people can get. Reds is a great camera too, but it's not like this is the highest quality of film production out there, and they know this. You know what I'm saying? My music guy, Craig Mann, Academy Award winning sound mixer.
Right.
Joe Cox, Academy Award winning editor. These guys have won the statue. So there was nothing cheap. Like, it's not no get rich or die trying, scenario. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't even know why he would say that. And I'm not even going to give him any breath. I'm only addressing John because he's steady going with this nonsense. People understand what the other guy, he does that to everybody. He made a career off of hate.
Okay, I appreciate that, man. You got straight to the point. Now, this is a question I want to ask you personally as a Tupac fan, and I just have to ask it. Like I said, I'm a big Tupac fan, and when the movie was coming out, you seen the phone flex and you seen the Wack 100, not only disrespecting Tupac but disrespected his mama. And me personally, I was upset to see that Wack 100 had got an invitation to a private screening. So my question,
he never got an invitation.
So he just appeared? He just popped up?
He came with game.
Oh, okay. So he was never invited directly. He just was a tag along, basically.
Nah, but people keep saying that. That he was tag along. I'm not calling the man a tag along. I'm just saying I wasn't aware that he was coming that day. You know what I'm saying? And everybody knows this. Me and him talked about it. It's just the truth. And I don't do the internet back and forth. And me and him had a conversation. And I told him exactly how I felt. I addressed it. I didn't address it on social media. I addressed it with me and him. Man to man. You know what I'm saying? And he got it. You know what I'm saying? That's why he made a post about it. You know what I'm saying? And then he went off on something else. And it's like, even with the other guy, that was talking crazy. People are going to talk crazy. And like I said, I ride for Pop all day, every day. And I put out the truest version. Like when Too Short said, man, this film is so honest. Do you think Tretch is going to say the film is phenomenal if it wasn't?
Well, to be honest with you, I really don't want to respond on Trex because Trex did something that I wasn't too fond of recently regarding Wack 100. But I definitely understand and get what you're saying as far as
but see, y'all don't understand that either. This internet thing can get you locked away. So a lot of times it's best to act like it's cool on the internet so you could do what you need to do. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally understand that.
So you got to understand the tactics. So if people thought it was something else, it's really just you don't want to leave a trail, man. Like I said, the last thing I wanted was this film to cause controversy amongst other young black people, to have us at each other's throat like this and somebody get their head knocked off. Because at the end of the day, we're all trying to progress as young executives and men that come from places that we know what it can turn into.
Right.
And to keep poking the bull, and especially with me, that's why I say, oh, LT this and that, but you keep playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not cut like that, man. I'm a man of my word, and I don't lie on nobody. And at the end of the day, like I said, these cats has been in the game for I don't know how long. And now that I'm doing what I'm doing, now everybody got something to say because I'm moving pieces on the chessboard and giving more opportunity. I'm giving hope to that kid in Chicago who feels like he don't have hope. I'm giving hope to that kid in Georgia, in Carolina. I get calls from all over the place that people say, okay, man, if you did it, I can't, because Hollywood has casted this net where they freeze you out and they run around like they just the end all, say all, be all, and don't even have no goddamn power with them goddamn selves. That is a shame. You know what I'm saying? And then now you want to come against me because I'm doing something and opening doors for people? That's not cool. That's the only reason I'm on this phone talking.
And I definitely understand that. I mean, I definitely appreciate that, that's your goal, which is to help bring more up, you know what I'm saying, instead of recycling the actors like you said and doing what you were doing. And I definitely appreciate you, using these Academy Award winning people to help explain the Tupac movie. Now, I have one more question I want to ask you before I let you go, LT. Do you feel like no matter what you did, critics will always have a negative response about it?
You said a negative response?
Yeah.
Like I said, we had an overwhelmingly positive response, but the negativity just always beats out the positive sometimes.
Right.
And like I said, when you look at Cinema Score, you cannot play games with Cinema Score. Where Wonder Woman scored a C minus, okay, but still making all of this crazy money because Negroes line up and they just go see that without any question or who Wonder Woman got the rights from and who sued who to get the comic book. You know, they don't care. They just go see it. They line up. With this movie, all of this bullshit, we can't even just go enjoy the movie. People want to say this, people want to say that. So it's like we got an A in Cinema Score, which tells me what the general audience, what the people that just go watch the movie feels it's a great movie. But all of the bullshit, they trying to cloud it and throw you off because they don't want people like me in Hollywood to have the power that I've obtained. And I'm going to keep on making movies. They can't stop me. It's just sad that it's going to turn into what it's going to turn into with whoever's trying to stop me, because it's not going to happen. You know, I'm here to stay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, LT, on behalf of We So Fly Magazine, bro, I definitely want to thank you again for taking time out to talk to us, clearing up some of the nonsense. I hope the people that's listening to this understand your side of things and understand your side of things. And again, I wish you the best of luck with whatever future projects you have. I definitely will be looking forward to seeing some of those. And I just want to wish you the best, man. And
appreciate it.
Is there anything else?
And like I say, yeah, just people gonna say what they say, man. There's people that do, and there's people who talk about the people that do.
All right, man. Well, you have a great day, man. Like I said, best wishes. I will definitely be looking for your next project. And if you ever feel a need to ever say anything or need anything done, man, my door is always open for you, bro.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Later.
Well, there you have it, man. Straight from L.T Hutton, director of All Eyez on Me. One thing I can say about my guy that I believe is that his goal is to make it in Hollywood to help others. I mean, use us as an example. LT could have used TMZ. He could have used pretty much any outlet that he wanted to. But just like he says he does with his actors in movies, he liked to bring in new people and give new opportunities. And that's something that he definitely gave to us. He gave us the exclusive, first, and only interview addressing the hate and the things negativity that was said about All Eyez on Me. And once again, we appreciate it and we wish the best. This is your boy Sin, CEO, and this is We So Fly Magazine.